Hey guys, thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you have been here before, thank you for coming back. And if this is your first time, thank you for stopping by. My name is Nicole and I am a Scrum Master. Today's topic, we're going to talk about releasing when your team is ready to release into production. There's some things that are going to be happening, and we want to make sure that you are doing the right things, right? So that way your whole release process can go very well. So everybody's happy, right? As you guys are ready to go into production. So again, let's say you're a Scrum Master for a team, your product owner has identified all the MVPs that are going to be for that particular release, right? Whatever you guys are working on should be targeted towards a specific release. Again, not every Scrum team release, but if you're working on a team that releases, once you guys are starting your sprint, just make sure your product owner has identified all the MVPs. What are our MVPs, right? Have the product owner create all the user stories in Jira, have the product create all the epic, obviously create the epic, then create the user stories under the epic that are going to be part of that release. So your product owner has already done that, right? Now your team has, they've been working in their sprint, they've been achieving their increments every end of sprint, and now your team is ready to go into production. They're ready to release their code into production, right? Releases just mean your team is ready to deploy or ready to deploy into production. So it's going to involve a lot of collaboration, right? Some companies actually do have a release coordinator. Some probably don't, right? Like I work in a project where we did not have a release coordinator. I had to do most of the coordinating and making sure that the process was smooth. Um, so if you don't have a release coordinator, don't worry about it because I'm about to give you guys all the steps and all the things that I did with the support of the product owner, with the help of my tech leads, and we were able to successfully deploy into production. So your team is ready to release. They have delivered everything that was planned for that upcoming release, and it's time for them now to deploy into production. So here are some of the things that are going to be happening, right? So again, there's some things that you, the Scrum Master, are going to be doing, right? Here are the activities that you, the Scrum Master, you're involved in that you're going to be helping your team in making sure that everything goes well. The first thing that you want to do is confirm with your product owner once you join the team, right? Just ask your product owner if you guys are working towards a specific targeted release. What day or date are we going to be releasing, right? The product owner should know because they're the one that knows exactly what is to be built. They're the ones that obviously know when the team should be releasing. So they'll tell you what date they are targeting for the release. If they've already identified the date, make sure that you, the Scrum Master, now communicate that with your entire team. It's important for your whole team to be aware on the day that they're going to be releasing so everybody is aligned, right? Once you find out the date, find out how many teams are going to also be releasing. Is it just your team that's releasing, or are there other Scrum teams that are also releasing on that same day? Find that out because you're going to be sending out some meetings, right? Especially like, let's say, for example, you're going to be sending out the go, no go call. If you're the one responsible for doing that, if other teams are releasing on that same day, they're going to be also doing the go, no go call. And probably, usually that call happened the day before your release. And you want to make sure that you're not sending an invite that someone else has already sent out the same invite and people are getting too many invites on their calendar for the same meeting, right? So just make sure. That's why it's important for you to collaborate with other teams that are also involving in a release on that same day. So you guys identify who is going to send out those meetings so we're not all sending out the same things over and over. You want to definitely make sure that you guys have a fixed version. Fixed versions are pretty much a unique label that we can say pretty much all your stories that you're planning to release on that day for that release, we want to have that fixed version that all those stories are tied to, right? So that way, if you were to go to Jira or the product owner or anyone in your team wants to just pretty much check which stories are part of our release, once they click on that fixed version, they should be able to, it should pull all the stories that are going to be on doing that release, part of that release. And also, if you guys are working, you're doing your sprint, right? If there are some stories that are part of the release that has not been delivered yet, right, you can also check on the fixed version which of the stories that are not yet been achieved yet. So your team now can start making sure that they focus on those stories and deliver those so they can get them done by the time that you guys are ready for your release. Just make sure that if other teams are also releasing, just find out if obviously it will be good to use the same fixed version, right? So we can group everything. We know that these are all the stories that they're planning to release on this day. Okay, and then the next thing that you want to do is submit your change request, your RFC, your change ticket, whatever tool you guys are using for your change ticketing. I've used ServiceNow. I've also used Remedy in the past. So find out if you are the one that needs to submit the change request. Make sure you submit that because you guys cannot even release without your change request, right? You need your change ticket because your change ticket needs to be approved by change management, right? And the change ticket pretty much has like short descriptions on this exactly what your team is planning to release. So it's going to have the detail on what they're going to be releasing and who is going to be doing the implementation of that release. So just make sure you have your change ticket and get it approved. Once you have created your change ticket, it has been approved, you want to also create your Confluence page for that release. Create a Confluence page, and then you're going to be documenting everything. For instance, when you create the change ticket and it has been approved, now you're going to document the change ticket number in your Confluence page, right? And then also the implementers who are those that are going to be doing the implementation in the release, who is the tech lead, who is the QA. So it's just good to have this Confluence page that you're going to be documenting, like exactly what time are we planning to start our release and so forth. So it's just good to put the date of the release as well on the Confluence page, the time, anything that really is important for that release. We want to make sure that is documented in our Confluence page. Once you're done with that, you want to schedule a go, no go, right? That's what I was saying, that if you guys are going to be doing a release with other teams, again, if it's your responsibility to schedule the go, no go call, communicate with the other Scrum Master to see who's going to want to schedule the go, no go meeting. If you have a release coordinator that is responsible for doing this, just make sure that they have scheduled the go, no go meeting. Again, the go, no go call is really for your teams to come together, right? The teams that are releasing and get a kind of like a thumbs up, like we're ready to go into production, we're ready to release. We have created our Confluence page. We have our work breakdown structured, and just to talk about everything, the time that the release is going to start, who are the implementers and everything. So just make sure that you have your go, no go meeting set up as well, and invite all the participants, all the people that needs to be part of the go, no go meeting. Once you guys have your go, no go meeting, now you guys are ready to release, right? You want to make sure that you send out a communication on the release detail, like an email sent out about the detail on what your team is planning to release, the time your team is planning to start to do their release. Again, it depends, like I said, right? It might be you, the Scrum Master, that's going to do this. It might be release coordinator. It could just be your product owner, even your tech lead. It's all about communicating with your team and just to know who is responsible for doing this. If it's you that you're going to be sending out this communication, just make sure that you send out the communication. Let them know that your team is ready to release. This is the day we're going to release. This is the time we're going to start to do our release and so forth, just so everyone is in alignment. Now, once that's done, you want to schedule the release call. If it's you again that's going to be doing this, or even if it's not you, just who has scheduled the call, just make sure that the call has been scheduled, that people are going to be joining, right? On the day of the release itself, there's a meeting that people are going to attend as the deployment is going on. So pretty much, right, on the day of the release itself, you join if you even join, most Scrum Masters don't even join release meetings, right? They don't even join the breach. If you happen to ever be there, if for whatever reason, if you're the one that's supposed to be hosting the meeting, just make sure that you join the meeting a couple of minutes ahead before everybody else. I'll say 10, 15 minutes. But for everyone else, just join it. Make sure the line, everything is working well, right? You can join the meeting, join the call, and just wait there for everybody else to join. Again, it might not be your responsibility, but if you happen to do that, make sure that you join 10, 15 minutes in advance, because you're going to be the one admitting people in the meeting. So you want to make sure that you join way ahead of time. So once people are coming, waiting in the waiting room, you're going to be accepting and meeting them on the call, right? And if it's you that's going to be hosting the meeting, obviously when people join, you're going to greet everyone and tell them obviously why they're there, right? What you guys are releasing. If it's you guys explain just high level on what your team is releasing, and then you're just going to be, I guess, you're going to start the call and then tell everybody if your team is ready to start their implementation, the deployment. You just go ahead and call on them and tell them to go ahead and start. And once the release is done, you're going to make sure that the product owner, this is something that the product owner have to do. They have to send out like a final email communication that the release is pretty much done, right? Kind of like a signed off, like, yeah, everything was implemented successfully, or the environment has been verified, and they're just going to continue to monitor and make sure that things are going well. And so your product owner is going to be the one to send out the final communication email. Again, this all depends, like I said, you just need to communicate with your product owner, your tech leads, just communicate with your team. What are your responsibilities as your team is ready to release, and just to make sure that things are going very well with everyone understand who is responsible for doing that, for doing what, just so you guys are in alignment, you guys are collaborating and working in ensuring that your release is successful. So if you guys need, you have any other question, any topic you would like me to talk about, please do go ahead and leave me a message below. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. If you want me to be giving you guys all this good stuff, all this, please go ahead and make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to leave your comment below, right? So if you're actually interested, guys, in a Scrum Master training, or if you're interested in coaching and mentorship, please reach out to me on the website below and also on the email below. I'll be gladly to help you. So do go ahead and reach out to me. Thank you so much for all your support. I will see you guys soon.